welcome back to Attack on Titan. Looks like we're starting off with Armin and Annie. Not for that reason, but... Okay, interesting. So public opinion is in Eren's favor, which I'm sure is going to spell trouble for everyone here pretty soon. Yeah, this is all going south pretty quickly. I mean, they're clearly only in front of it. They were not around the whole thing. I don't know, probably there to like bust Eren out or something. I would keep an eye on them. Urgency is not always the best way to go about things. Damn, chill out. Yeah, Eren's gone beyond like having fans. He's got himself like a whole cult. I don't know if murdering like thousands of innocent people is exceeding expectations, but alright. Yeah, she scares the shit out of me, to be totally honest. Bullshit. I do not believe her. I do not believe her. You met Eren for an entirely different reason. I do not believe you. Exactly. Oh, I love Pixis. Like, he's so fucking smart. Did you? I'm inclined to believe you, but at the same time... So in a way, she's a lot like, you know, Reiner, Bertolt, and Annie. What? Why? How does that relate to those two, though? Oh. Dude, he freaks me out quite a bit, too. Such a different person than the Eren I remember from all the other seasons. Again, I feel like it's probably the other way around. Yeah, I mean, I don't see why you can't let them talk. Just have someone watch them. I suppose that's a possibility. Which, after what he did, I wouldn't exactly blame them. Ah, I see. That's a good point. Whoa, what the fuck just happened? Oh, damn, that's fucking awful. Holy shit, I did not expect that. Well, he's dead. I did not think he was gonna die, first of all. Second off, I did not think he was gonna die like that. Mob mentality is not good. You get the people pissed off enough, you got a real problem. Good question. Oh shit. Oh fuck, dude. What the fuck? I mean, he does have the Warhammer Titan. Like, he could have escaped at any point he really wanted to. But what is his end game? Like, I don't understand what he's doing. I'm sure at some point I will, but fucking hell, he's frustrating this shit out of me right now. It would be you to help. Fucking flock. Great. Just great. I don't think he will. I think he is, you know, far and away on his own plan. That's a very cool shot, but I've seen you, like, snivel and cry. You can't pretend to be cool right now. This is why people were calling me a Jaegerist. I mean, like, what is she supposed to do? I don't understand how she's supposed to take responsibility for that. That's a very good point. There's probably still a lot of agents, you know, in this room, perhaps. True. So you're just gonna let Eren be in charge? I do not think that's a good idea. It seems like a pretty big thing to overlook. I wanted to like you when you first showed up, but there's so much about you since then that just makes me not trust you at all either. I can't tell if this is a manipulation or if she's being genuine. Personally, I don't buy it, but maybe that was real. I mean, obviously she's on Eren's side. Like, I don't believe she's a Jaegerist, but she'll always, you know, have Eren's back. As unfortunate as that might be. Yep. Exactly. Good luck with that. Who is that? Oh shit, what? Okay, damn. They hit me with a big surprise there right at the end. What the fuck? Alright, well, I enjoyed that episode quite a lot. Not only did it have, like, some really good political intrigue, which this show has been pretty phenomenal when it comes to its writing for those kinds of scenes. Not a lot of shows like to go super in-depth with, you know, the behind-the-scenes workings of a government or a military. And this show, all the way from the first season, has always done that in a really interesting and engaging kind of way. So I think in that regard, it definitely excelled in this episode. And there were two big shocks for me I did not see coming at all. Like, Commander Premier dying the way he did, that completely took me by surprise. I did not see that coming. And for them to immediately follow that up with, yep, and Eren has escaped, a bunch of the scouts have defected and are now supporting Eren. And Pixis actually, like, I would assume he has some kind of trump card up his sleeve. He usually does, but his plan of, like, all right, let's just, you know, give power over to Eren. I don't know even if he has, like, a secret plan up his sleeve, if that's a good idea. That seems like a surefire way to royally fuck this shit up. That being said, I don't know what Eren's plan is. Like, maybe he does have a plan that's gonna save the most amount of people or something. I don't fucking know. He's doing a very good job not giving up any information. But I think it makes a lot of sense and is actually really cool that they're exploring it in the show. That someone like Eren would more than likely attract quite a following. And depending on how much information is leaked to the public, you could have a serious problem if the military's goals and Eren's goals are not in line. So I think that's really cool that they're, you know, exploring that to its fullest. And I knew I couldn't trust Yelena. I've been saying that since she first showed up, so I get a pat on the back for that. I still don't fully know what her deal is, but they've at least now made it extremely clear that she is part of some kind of plan, has murdered many people, and seems to not really take issue with that. And, you know, is beyond a fan of Eren, is, you know, obsessed with him, like worships him, which is, you know, not good. And it's good to see that, as always, you know, towards the end of the episode, our main characters that we've been following for a long time, like John, Armin, Hanji, it's pretty cool that they're all like, okay, so publicly we need to kind of go along with things, but we got to take care of this situation ourselves because this is going to go south really quickly. And the way they kind of set things up, it's implied that they're going to run into Gabby and Falco at that restaurant, which that should be interesting. I only hope that Gabby doesn't kill someone before they get, you know, recaptured. But going back to the two surprises of the episode, I love that they end the episode showing that Pieck is actually on the island. Is she there on her own or on orders? I don't know. I'm curious. Is she going after Eren? Is she going after Gabby and Falco? Does she have a different goal entirely? Is she there for Annie? Like, I don't know. And even though I'm a little upset because the episode ended on such a cliffhanger, it definitely got me pumped for whatever's going to be coming next. So let's jump into the technicals. The writing of this episode, I think, was very, very solid. Like I said, there were 2 very big surprises in the episode, but at least as of now, there's nothing that presents like an issue in logic or any kind of character motivations. As a matter of fact, both surprises are something that in many ways have been, built up towards, and I'm sure some people were kind of just waiting for. Armin and Mikasa, doing everything in their power to protect their friend and try and find out what he knows. Definitely in line with those 2 characters, because no matter what, they're always trying to help Eren. Mikasa even more so. Armin will go out of his way to be like, you're wrong, actually. Mikasa, though, she's like, nah, that's babe, and I will always follow him. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. Pixis giving, free reign to Eren and Zeke. As per plot progression, there was quite a bit here. I mean, again, they delved pretty deep into the political activities and what's going on there. Eren and the Jaegerists essentially performed a coup on the military and pretty much won. Everything's still kind of hanging in the air, but a lot happened for sure. And there is that little tidbit right at the very end where you see Gabby and Falco have made it to the restaurant where the former Marleyan chef is now working, I'm assuming. And the reveal that, Piek is actually on the island doing some spy work. So for writing, I'm going to do a 10 out of 10. Editing, I thought was very, very good. The scene with Yelena and Pixis, I thought was edited really well and in a slightly unconventional way. Considering it was meant to be like very unnerving and creepy, you normally would expect a scene like that to have like pretty rapid cuts to imply the, increased speed of your heart, essentially. But with that scene, there were intentionally like really long takes on each other's reactions, which I think worked out very effectively, especially when you see, the total crazy eyes that Yelena's saying when she's like, their 2 brothers are gonna reshape the world. I was like, oh no. I also really like the way they edited together the explosion, just because it does come like completely out of nowhere, but Mikasa kind of clues in the audience with like an audible gasp, like she knows something is wrong. And then they do like some really rapid takes of the actual explosion and like a quick shot of, half of Premier's body like flying through the air. But they spend the most time during those moments like focusing on the crowd and the soldiers, their reactions to that moment. And that really quick speed up in editing and then slowing down, focusing on the reactions as opposed to the act, I think was very, very smart. So I'm going to do another 10 out of 10. Cinematography, there were some like really fantastic shots in this episode. I loved the shot of Eren putting on his coat. Because on one hand, I'm like, you're a dumb little bitch. Like, I've seen him grow up into this very confident, cold person. But I'll never forget him, like, doing all the dumb shit he did before. So him, acting so cool now. I'm like, okay, Sasuke. But it was still a really, really gorgeous looking shot. I loved it. The way they framed a lot of the moments during the explosion were fantastic. The choices that they would make in terms of where the focus would be for certain conversations, I think kept a lot of those moments much more engaging and interesting. So I think I gotta go for another 10 out of 10. Sound design was quite good. I think it didn't impress me quite as much as I feel like I normally am by the show. Maybe not. Maybe everything else was just so good. I wasn't really thinking about that. I do like the way they cut sound during the explosion, because again, it's like a quick frenetic burst of energy, and then it's silent when you just see his body flying through the air, followed by the like very gruesome sounding plop. So it was very effective during those moments. When Eren, meets up with the Jaegerists, the score during that moment was really, really cool. So I'll do a 9 out of 10 because it was quite good, but it's still, to my knowledge, I don't think was quite as good as some of the other episodes have been. Acting, I thought, was, once again, very, very good. I think Mitsuki Saiga, who does the voice of Yelena, probably did the best out of everybody in the episode, especially especially that one line where she was like, the two brothers reshaping the world. Like, again, I could feel the crazy, and I love when an actor can like harness that kind of energy, because it's just it's so chaotic and fun to watch. I think she did a fantastic job. But there wasn't a moment in the episode that really, burned itself into my brain, so I'll do another 9 out of 10. Costumes and makeup, I mean, as far as I could tell, it was the same as it's pretty much always been on the show. I've talked before about how much I like how every costume seems genuinely practical while also looking pretty cool. The only like real new costume change, I suppose, was Erin's new look with, the no shirt and the jacket, looking all cool. Which I got to admit, as much as, Erin irritates me most of the time, he looked pretty cool. So I'll do another 9 out of 10. Set design. I think there were some... It wasn't exactly the most exciting episode in terms of locations. I think the only location in the episode that genuinely impressed me was the balcony that Pixis and Yelena are talking on. I don't remember if we've seen that place earlier in the show. I kind of feel like we have. But regardless, most of the rest of the episode takes place in rooms that almost all look just like each other. They're still very well designed and everything. It's just a lot of sameness in this one. So I'll do an 8 out of 10. And finally, the visual effects. For the explosion, as far as I could tell, it didn't look like there was any kind of CGI assistance involved there, which I really like. When it comes to animated stuff, I really do prefer when the animation stays as hand-drawn as you possibly can, because a lot of the times the CGI just sticks out like a sore thumb, and the explosion was quite seamless because there was not any CGI, or if there was, it was very well blended. But yeah, because there was nothing in the episode that, stood out, I think that's great, but there's also nothing to, impress me there, so I'll just do a 9 out of 10. And that gives the episode an overall 9.3 out of 10, but this is definitely an episode that I really enjoyed, which means it gets bumped up a point to a full 10 out of 10, which I think this is the first episode this season that I've rated that high. Maybe not. There was an episode like 4 or 5 back that I thought was really, really good. But yeah, things are definitely starting to take form a bit more now. I'd say at the end of the last episode, I was extremely intrigued, but it didn't seem like, any plans were actually set in motion yet. It seems like this is the episode where it's like, okay, now shit's about to start going bad. I mean, it was always going bad, but now particularly. And I'm dying to find out what happens with Gabby and Falco, dying to find out what happens with Eren and the other Jaegerists, what's going to happen when Eren and Armin finally get to talk to him. Very much get the feeling they are not going to get the conversation that they want. They keep saying like, oh, well, like he might listen to us. I'm like, I think the old Eren might have listened to them, but I think... not anymore. This new Eren, I don't necessarily think he's evil or anything. Like, that's a possibility, I suppose. But I'm thinking he's more than likely doing very bad things, for good reasons. Like, he has an end game in mind. What that is, man, I don't know. I thought that by now we'd start to figure it out, but the fact that we're not even getting close to the answers, it doesn't seem. I'm guessing we're not going to find out what his, goal or what his plans are for at least a few more episodes. Maybe not until the next half of this final season. I don't know. I only have about 4 episodes left, which, will probably take me until about 2023. But it's definitely heating up, and I am very excited for the next one. So I will see you all there. And that's about it.